Well, I hope you're ready for some unindoctrination. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. This is the Unindoctrination Station, and we are here to talk about Christianity as malware. If you were in the audience last night from 10 p.m. till midnight on Late Night in the Heartland, you heard a fascinating discussion with John Lamb Lash, and that will not be our last discussion with John Lamb Lash, I guarantee you. And we talked about many things, but one of the things I want to highlight from that, and probably the first of many things I want to highlight from that discussion, is the talk we had about Christianity as malware. Let's talk about this briefly today and kind of put it in your mind and hopefully get it to a place where it can be resonating in your mind for some time to come. If you are a cousin, we're here saluting you for being here. If you're a visitor, we salute you for being here. If you're a Christian, we salute you for being here and hope that you'll have an open mind. And if you're a troll, we have a special salute for you, because even though you're not a real person, you do allow people organically to find the channel that otherwise would not. So what is malware? Well, malware is any software that intentionally is designed to cause damage to a computer, to a server, to a client, or to a computer network. And programs are also considered malware if they secretly act against the interests of the computer user. This is from Wikipedia. And if you listened last night, you heard John bring up the fact that Christianity is very analogous to malware. And I completely concur with him. I have referred to Christianity as a virus. And this goes along, obviously, the same idea. But malware may, in fact, be a little more of an accurate description. Because if we look at Christianity as malware, it does fit the definition perfectly, in my opinion. Because malware is any software that is intentionally designed. It's designed to cause damage to a computer. Now, we could say that would be an individual. To a client, we could say that would be a community. To a network, we could say that's the country or even a nation or even the world. And one of the things about malware is that they tend to secretly act against the interests of the users. Now, Christianity is designed, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to prove it to you, to cause damage to individuals. It is designed to cause damage to societies, and it secretly acts contrary to their interests. Think about it. By definition, Christianity is malware. It causes damage to individuals. Psychological damage, spiritual damage, emotional damage by, and we could go on for hours about this, but just one particular point, it causes damage to individuals by teaching people that they're born flawed, that they're born guilty of something called original sin. And because of this, they're worthy of eternal punishment, eternal damnation. And when you are teaching someone that they're filled and born with original sin, when actually they have the spark of divinity within, you are causing damage to individuals. And in many cases, what proves to be irreparable damage, unless they get a hold of John Lamb Lash's work, our work, Joseph Atwell's work, and a very few select others. It also causes damages to a society, because the damage to societies is caused by creating a pervasive environment of mistrust and paranoia that's exploited by rulers to divide and conquer. If you think that you are filled with sin, well, then you're sure that your neighbor's filled with sin. So you always have a little bit of mistrust, a little bit of paranoia with him or her, because, hey, they're just as bad as you are. And that causes you to distance them, and it makes it very easy for them to be scapegoated or be blamed as your problem. And when you understand that we all have the spark of divinity within, why, then you will look at your neighbor in a completely different context. Well, Maybe I don't like everything they do. Maybe I don't like everything they say, but they do have the spark of divinity within, just like I do. So let me at least give them a little bit of love, a little bit of patience, a little bit of kindness. And this is designed, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cousins of all ages, with intention. Christianity was specifically designed with these features, and these features are meant to accomplish very specific ends. It damages individuals, Christianity does. It damages societies, Christianity does. And it does so and is designed to do so with intention. And of course, it secretly acts against our interests, both individually and societally, because Christianity hides its origins. It doesn't let us know that the word gospel means good news of the military victories of Caesar. It doesn't let us know that its books were revealed in a certain order and then are compiled in another order, and no one ever explains that. It hides the fact that its central character, Jesus and Paul, teach different doctrines. Not only does Christianity hide its origins, it also creates false narratives to cover its tracks, and it keeps things intentionally secret. If you ask questions about these matters, you get told that it shows a lack of faith. You get told to put it on the shelf. You get told just to trust. And how many of us have heard that God moves in mysterious ways? It secretly acts against our interests, and it's meant to keep us from becoming all we can be. Tracy said it earlier. It keeps us dependent instead of making us independent. And if you can't see this third point, I have very little hope for you. Christianity is the blueprint for secretly taking over countries. Gosha touched on it this morning. We had Gosha at high noon for a special edition of Late Night in the Heartland. I encourage you to watch that show. Gosha pointed out the fact, and John Lamb Lash last night pointed out the fact, and I pointed out the fact almost too much over and over and over, that Christianity actually is the blueprint for a communist takeover of a society, and it is designed to get the people to stand down, do nothing, wait for a savior, trust the plan, and sit on their hands while their nation is taken over. And folks, in this regard, a little dab will do you. A little dab will do you in. And the fact of the matter is, I'm going to talk about this in coming days and weeks, Christianity ruined the United States. The United States was great. The United States was powerful. The United States was victorious when it was a deistic, some might even say Gnostic, nature-focused, God-focused, individual revelation through nature focused. Before it became a Christian nation, it was a great nation. As soon as it became Christian, it started its decline. And now Christianity is being leveraged to finally conquer the United States. And if it works in the United States, the world is next. We've all heard the story of the frog. You put a frog in a pan filled with water. You make it a comfortable temperature, and the dog will just sit there I don't know if a dog would, but a frog will sit there and just enjoy it. You turn up the heat slowly, and the frog continues to sit there. And the frog will sit there and will boil to death because you have gradually turned up the heat. If you can't see the analogy to where we are today in the United States, and you need some help. We are the frog in the water, and the water is the United States of America. And the water is almost to that point where it becomes boiling and it becomes lethal to us. And what John Lamb Lash is trying to do, and what Gosha is trying to do, and what Joseph Atwell is trying to do, and what Jeffrey Daugherty is trying to do, and it's about us four and no more. We are trying to get you to jump the hell out of the water. Because the time is coming very soon when you won't be able to. And all of the rest of the people on YouTube that want to talk about they want you to keep a little bit of malware, because you've got to understand, malware doesn't have to be a big, long, huge program. Just one little byte, B-Y-T-E, of malware can get into your system and it will replicate itself. So one little bitty bit of I still love Jesus, one little bitty bit of I still love the blood, I still want atonement, I still want salvation, I still want to pray to the Father, I still want to sing about I'm covered in the blood, there's power in the blood, I still want to have just a little dab of Christianity. And the internet is filled with men and women trying to get you to keep a little dab, because a little dab will do you in. And there's only 4 of us trying to tell you to get out of the water and don't let even one bite of malware come in, because it will in time completely overtake your system. This is our last chance, and this is your last chance to come to your senses and jump out of the water until you are fatally overcome and you get to come back around again. Folks, that's just the way it is. Christianity is malware. Christianity has ruined the United States. It's being leveraged to finally conquer the United States, and the entire world is next. Christianity is malware. There's only 4 of us telling you that that's true. But at the end of the day, you've only got to make the decision for one, and that is yourself. My thanks to John Lamb Lash for being with us. He will be with us again. My thanks to Joseph Atwill for being with us. He'll be with us again. My thanks to Gosha for being with us. She'll be with us again on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Tomorrow night, Monday night, we will have Richard from Nanosoma with us on Late Night in the Heartland. And then Thursday, we've got Jason from No White Guilt on Late Night in the Heartland. We'll be filling out our schedule throughout the week. So I want you to just consider, is it possible that Christianity is malware? Is it possible that you're infected? And if you're a frog, it's time to jump. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. This is the Unindoctrination Station. We bring you information to help you unindoctrinate yourself. And I want to remind you that you are not born with original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within. And you don't have to go on bended knee to somebody else's savior, because you're already divine. You're already sovereign. And you're meant to be free. Be like Anna Yoder. She's the frog that jumped out of the pot 3 years ago. I salute you, Anna, and all the rest of the cousins. We'll be back here tomorrow at noon with our weekly Not Your Normal Sunday program. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all then. Thank you, KC. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. The Nanosoma's got a lot to do with it. The infrared sauna's got a lot to do with it. Igor Vatinko, look him up on the internet. Amazing workout, and it's all free. Igor is rocking it, and I'm going to try to get Igor on the channel once I complete his 30-day program, which I'm about 22 days into. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth. And folks, we are really the last generation of real humans. And it's time for us to get busy.